Good morning, pets, bitches, and losers. And if that honestly offends you, then you shouldn't be playing in this community. And, I mean, that's just the truth. Some people like being called pets. Some people like being called bitches. And some people like being called losers. Now, just because you call somebody a loser or a bitch or a pet doesn't mean that they actually are. I'll get into that whole conversation another time. So, anywho, I had a very, very respectful, nice sub come into my Twitter DMs. If you don't know my Twitter, I put it in my description. He came into my Twitter DMs with Scent Goddess, which, thank you, sir. That was very nice, and it was a very nice tribute, I just have to say. I'm like, woof. But then he asked if he could ask me a question, and I was like, of course. And he said, it would be really cool if you did kind of like a Q&A. He says he's seen other doms do that, and he said I just seem very candid about stuff and just kind of like, hey, this is how it is, or, you know, at least how I feel how it is. And he said it would be really interesting to see people ask me questions, whether they be doms or subs or whatever, on like what I think X, Y, and Z is, or my opinion and stuff like that. Now, mind you, just because I have an opinion and I like to do things a certain way, I am not dismissing other doms and what they do and how they do it and so on and so forth. I do have, you know, things where I will totally disagree with because of either like a morally, physically damaging type of punishments, and I'll get into that stuff too. But you know, bottom line, I'm just rambling. I'm just telling you about my experience with BDSM. So anywho, let me get back to what the sub asked. So I thought, I'm off tomorrow. I got some errands and stuff I have to run and clean the house and so on and so forth. You know, life shit, because, yeah, we do life shit. But if anyone would like to ask me a respectful question, that basically means no dick pics, because if I do dick ratings, you're paying me for that shit. And if you don't know what a dick rating is, then maybe you should ask me and I'll tell you. So anyways, if you want to ask me a question, something about myself, something about the BDSM community, now I will tell you what all I know, what I've experienced and everything like that. I don't know everything, trust. There are so many different facets of this community out there. Sometimes I come across some and I'm like, oh, okay. But yeah, so I am saying right now, if any of you want to ask me a question, I give you permission to drop into my DMs on Twitter and put in the very first word, question, and then ask your question. Please be respectful, because if not, I'm just going to block your ass. If you say anything nasty, I'm just going to block your ass. The shit doesn't bother me. The reason why I block you is because I don't feed into drama, and that just shows me you're not respectful. And yeah, fuck you. So, but yes, so today is August 14th. So on August 15th, I will be recording myself, reading off people's questions, and I will answer them. There you have it. I'm trying to think if there's anything I kind of really won't answer. I'll answer some personal stuff about myself, but I'm not about to like go all deep in shit. I don't need no damn fucking stalkers. I've had that before. Yeah, it's not cute. Hence why I own guns. Not because I'm some gun nut, because, you know, I've had people threaten my life. Yeah, it's great. It's great. So, anywho, okay, so question. That's the first part. If you want to ask me questions, hit my Twitter. It's your_queen_PK. That's my Twitter handle. Shoot me a message. Like I said, first words say question, and then ask the question. And I will try to answer all of them that I can or feel, you know, whatever. Also, I will not give a sub's name or handle or any of that out unless they are okay with that. And then sometimes I still won't because they just want attention and they don't deserve attention. And yeah, so, you know, if you want me to give you a shout out, that's up to you. Will I? That's up to me. Like I said, it's my world. You're just living in it, you know. I did have another sub who tributed, and he asked a question. His tribute was, you know, all tributes are appreciative, but they weren't as good as that first one. I was like, damn, bitch, stick around. We can have fun. But he asked me, and it was kind of in a very passive-aggressive way, well, what makes you a dom? Like, what experience do you have? You know, no disrespect. Of course, when somebody says no disrespect, they mean I'm disrespecting you. But whatever. Okay, so I'm going to give you a very brief history of my experience in BDSM. Back in the 90s, I was a fetish model. I got into fetish modeling. And I actually met a male dom who I started dating. We were boyfriend and girlfriend for quite some time. And he's extremely alpha. He's very known in the community throughout the world. I'm not mentioning his name because I haven't spoken to him forever, and I don't know if he wants his name. I don't know what he's doing, so I'm just not mentioning his name. That's between him and I. But if any of you know me from way back in the day, I'll actually, I actually have some pictures of my model fetishing I'll post at some point on my Twitter. Actually, probably on my indie bill or my OnlyFans, so you guys have to pay for them. It's not that expensive, really, especially the indie bill. If you want some like booty pictures and feet pictures and other type of pictures, you can go to indie bill and you'll see they're cheap. So, and you don't have to have a subscription. Just a shameless plug right there. Okay. So anywho, him and I dated, and he was the one and the only male alpha that I've ever been dominated by. And he taught me a ton. And you know, it's kind of like one of those things. I'm not judging, so nobody get pissed off at me in the dom world. It's kind of like one of those things where if you go to get a tattoo and your tattoo artist doesn't have any tattoos, you're like, it's not because you want them to look the part. It's more about, I want them to know how that shit feels when it goes on skin, and to have that empathy there that you know. So I know what a cane feels like on your ass. Ugh. Honestly, caning, oh my God. So when I see some of these mistresses do some serious fucking caning sessions, whoa, literally my skin starts to fucking crawl, because that was wow. So I've had stuff done to me. And then I was also taught correct, proper ways to do it. I worked in a dungeon in New York off and on in the 90s. I used to go to all the fetish clubs in New York back in the day, in the 90s, Paddles and the Vault. I actually did like a charity auction. I auctioned off a session at, I can't remember if I think it was Paddles. Yeah, at Paddles. Because I think the Vault was the one downstairs. If anybody knows, let me know. Which one was in the meatpacking? The Vault? I feel like the Vault was downstairs, right? It's been so long. But anyways, I did a charity auction where I did a session on a sub, and all the money went to, I think, AIDS research or something like that. It was cool. And at that time, I'm going to toot my horn a little bit. They said I was the highest paid auction dom they ever had. So, I was like, oh, that's cute. So, yeah. So, I'm not gonna lie, being a dom, especially a working dom in a dungeon and doing sessions, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a very mental thing. Even I've learned doing sessions via this, whether, you're typing shit out, you're Skyping, Kikiing, whatever, it's a lot sometimes. Some people really want to go really deep, and I get it, because when I used to have sessions done, I'll tell you, it's nice. I get it. I get the whole endorphin rush. I get the whole thing. Just because you want somebody to call you a dirty whore or a bitch or a loser or a piece of shit or any of that, that doesn't necessarily mean you think that way about yourself. And if you do, trust me, I've had subs where they were pretty fucking sad, and that's where you come in, and when somebody really wants you to degrade them, that's when I'm like, okay, I need to dig a little deeper and see where this person is mentally. Because honestly, as I said in my last video, you do not break your fucking toys. If anything, you make your toys better. Yeah, better. And I have a sub that has honestly flourished. Even in the short time that I've been back on the scene, which literally, July? Last month? A month maybe now? I mean, this guy hit me up really quick, and I've been kind of working with him, and yeah, I mean, I don't want to get too personal because it's between him and I, but I have to say, he's turning out to be pretty, he's definitely not a loser like he thought he was, but I mean, he's still a loser. So anywho, I did fetish modeling. I was an active dom. I've been a submissive once to a dom, male dom. Used to go to a lot of fetish events. Somebody just almost pulled out in front of me, fucker. So, I mean, I was pretty active in the community for a while, out in California and so on and so forth. And then I was a sex worker for a really long time. I mean, in the sex worker industry. Mostly all of the 90s and very beginning of 2000s. And sex work is BDSM, blah, 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 blah. Just because somebody says they're a sex worker, don't just jump to a conclusion like, oh, you're just a fucking prostitute. Which I see nothing wrong with women charging for sex either. I think prostitution needs to be fucking legal so we can get a handle on it, and human trafficking could go bye-bye. That's just me. That's my opinion. So anywho, yeah, that's my background. I am going to be very transparent and honest. some of this online stuff, it's getting used to. Financial domination, I'm not saying it wasn't around back then, but it wasn't really, I mean, I had a client in New York who was like a big finance dude, and he used to want me to, like, you know, do cock and ball torture on him and tell him what a piece of shit he was and a loser, and that he doesn't deserve the money he's worked hard for, and he needs to pay me triple. I mean, shit like that. And the motherfucker gave me like stupid amounts of money. So that to me, and I didn't consider that just strictly financial domination, because I was doing other sessions and stuff like that on him, you know, face to face. So financial domination via the internet, well, I mean, it's a whole different type of twist to it. And there's so many outlets that somebody can serve you via financial domination. So I think it's fucking amazing. But am I still kind of getting my bearings and everything with that? Absolutely. And also doing online sessions, like via Kiki or Skype or any of that, that's different. I've had to find some creative ways to really like bring my sub in, especially with cock and ball torture. I'm like, you know, I'm just sitting there being like, hit yourself in the balls. No. So I've had to actually, you know, I've had to work my ass off on trying to think about how I can do this properly, because I also, you know, I get off on this shit, but I only get off on this shit if I know the other person also is getting off on this shit. That's where you know somebody's really into BDSM. Like, trust me, getting money is really nice. It's very nice. It, you know, it helps, you know, finance the life in which I should have constantly, because I'm a fucking queen. But knowing that somebody worked for that money, and, you know, they probably worked really hard, and that they are giving it up to me. It's a power rush. I mean, it really is. Like I said in my other video, though, if I know somebody's doing financially very, 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 very poorly, and they're like foregoing taking medicine or paying a bill or, you know, paying their child support, shit like that, I'm sorry. You shouldn't fucking be in Findom at all. You need to take your ass away. There are bitches out there that will fucking ruin you like that. And to me, that's not BDSM. That's a suicide mission, and I'm not into that. So if people are, I'm sorry, but I question anybody who really wants to do irreparable harm to somebody. You can still give them the fantasy of that without doing it. So anyhow, I guess I'm a dom with a conscience. Most of us are. So, you know. Also, I always joke, if I could go back in time and go back to school, I'd be a forensic psychiatrist, because I am very fascinated with the why we do stuff, the mental reasons for it. That's why I think sometimes, you know, BDSM, when people are very ashamed of talking about that they do it, because people think, oh, you're fucking crazy. There's a lot more, you know, for me, it can be such a release. I have to deal with men all fucking day at work. I will get into that another time, but I have to be nice. I can't, you know, and I am a nice person. I'm a fucking awesome person. But when people talk to people in a certain way or tone because of your gender, which we get as women a lot, you want to just be like, bitch. I had a guy Saturday where he said something so smart ass to me. I don't know if he thought he was being funny or honestly if he's just that fucking stupid, but the look I fucking gave him and the thought in my brain was, I want you fucking down on the floor licking the dog shit off my fucking shoes. Not that I have dog shit on there, but I'd be willing to go fucking step in it for this bitch. I don't fucking talk to people that way unless they're paying me to, or unless they're completely disrespecting me. So, to be able to be dominant, especially over men, because women, I'm just like, I don't know. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not really into female subs. I like women too much. I'd just be kitty, kitty, kitty all the time. And I don't know if they would want that, yeah, because, you know, female power. So it's hard for me to be mean to a chick, unless she's a cunt. So, anywho, so yes, so for me to be able to get it out, it's good. Now you have to be careful that you're not taking anger out on people. And that's really, you should never do a session with somebody if you are literally lashing out at them because of something you're pissed about. No, it's more about, I'm not taking my anger out, I'm just like taking that energy that I get from being pissed off out. So it's, yeah, it's a good release. I haven't been in the scene in a really long time, so it's been, and I'm a different person now. I'm more mature. I have a different outlook on certain things. I am not financially dependent on this industry at all, which makes it even better. Which makes it even better when you send me your fucking money. Ow! So yeah, as you can see, I get off on it. Yes. I just got a little tingly. So anywho, I'm going to wrap this up. It's a long video, but what I would like to say is, again, it is August 14th. On August 15th, I will be reading my DMs with questions, respectful questions that you may have. For me, about BDSM, Findom, whatever. Okay? And if I can answer them, I'll answer them. If I can't, I'll be like, I don't fucking know. Because I want to be very transparent. So, my Twitter handle is in the description. If you come into my DMs being stupid, I'm just going to delete it and block it. If you try to send a picture, I'm not even going to look at it. I will see there's a picture there, and I will delete it and block you. So, I mean, yeah, it's not about me, you know, being offended or what. I shouldn't have to say it, but if you're a true sub, you know. You just know. If you're not, you're just a troll if you're doing that bullshit. Or you're trying to get free fucking attention. That ain't happening. If you would like to inquire about any type of sessions and what type I do, you do not drop into my DMs without making some type of tribute. Just plain and simple. Because, first and foremost, in order for me to even see that you are being serious and you are a serious sub and you're willing to follow rules, you got to go by my rules. That's my rule. So anywho, I'm excited about tomorrow. I love doing little Q&As. I do. It's fun. And I like to get to know subs, potential subs, or just, yeah, if I can educate you on anything, I would love to. So, hit my DMs, bitches, pets, and losers. Everybody have a great day, and I'll chat tomorrow.